here to teach you about the muscle system.
But first we wanted to see what people knew about different muscles by asking them to identify them. And we met up with Thomas, and Jerry's going to ask him a few questions.
Okay, this muscle right here, what is it called?
A bicep?
Good job. That's right.
Nice.
What about this muscle right here? This one.
Tricep? I don't know.
One last one. What do you call this muscle right here?
Abs?
Correct.
Nice.
Good
Thank you,
job.
Thomas.
What is this muscle called right here? Give me your best guess.
I don't know oblique, but it's abdominal, obviously.
Yeah, that's good.
At least we know that the people of San Ramon know some of their muscles.
But now it's time to educate you about the muscle system through hands-on demonstrations. Go ahead and demonstrate how you'd work out your arms. Alright, thank you, Drew. And can you tell us exactly what you worked out in that segment?
Well, with this exercise, I worked out my biceps.
Oh, sorry, you caught me at an awkward moment there. Just for a review though, these are the biceps and these are the triceps.
With this exercise, Roshan is working out his rectus abdominis. In order for you to get that six-pack you want, you got to work out your internal and external obliques. Go ahead.
Alright.
Alright, Roshan, time to work out your transverse abdominis.
It's gonna be tough. So right now Drew's about to work out his posterior muscles, trapezius, latissimus dorsi, his erector spinae, and his deltoid. Go ahead, Drew. Right now, Jerry's taking some multivitamins and some vitamin D, and as he's chewing right now, he's using his masseter, which is right on the side of your cheek, and the temporalis, which is kind of over here, kind of to the side of your eyebrow. So the temporalis and the masseter, temporalis up top, masseter on the cheek, are the two really main muscles that you use to chew and.
So by whistling, I'm working my buccinator and my orbicularis oris. So by blinking, I'm using my orbicularis oculi. So for the trunk, the main muscles to know are the pectoralis major and the pectoralis minor. As for the neck, the main muscle is the sternocleidomastoid, which allows you to move your head from side to side. Tell us about some muscle disorders.
Well, if I remember correctly, one of the most common ones is muscular dystrophy. And it's basically when a group of muscle diseases weaken the musculoskeletal system and they pretty much hamper the locomotion or movement. So people with dystrophy, they basically have progressive skeletal muscle weaknesses, which results in kind of a defect of your muscle protein and therefore a death in muscle cells. So a lot of people with dystrophy end up having to live the rest of their life in a wheelchair, unfortunately. And there are some foundations, like the Muscular Dystrophy Association, which attempts to find cures and helps people with dystrophy. Now we're going to hit the streets to see what people know about muscle contraction. Let's go, guys. Jerry and Drew were at Safeway, and we ran into Miss Kiefer and her son, Nick. And Jerry's going to ask a few questions to Miss Kiefer.
So in your best words, tell me how you think muscles contract. How do they work?
Well, eccentric and concentric movements.
Great.
By contraction and release.
But how do they actually contract? What happens in the muscle when it contracts?
Oh, you mean like meiosis and?
Yeah, like those science terms.
I don't remember. Is it meiosis? I don't remember.
Drew's about to demonstrate the latent period first, which is when there's absolutely no movement. Next, he'll do the contraction period, which lasts for around 10 to 100 milliseconds, and the muscle actually shortens in size. Finally, he'll go into the period of relaxation, which is the last 10 to 100 milliseconds, in which muscle tension goes to zero, and the muscle returns to its original size.
An adduction is moving a limb back towards the medial plane of the body. It is movement around the longitudinal axis. It's classified as either lateral rotation, or medial rotation. Pronation is essentially moving the hand from palm facing upwards to palm facing downwards. The opposite is supination. These movements both only apply to the forearm. That's it. Flexion decreases the angle of the joint and brings the muscles closer together. The opposite is extension, which increases the angle of the joint.
Eversion, which is basically when you rotate your foot outwards, like so. So starting here, moving here, and then demonstrate inversion, which is basically when you start straight and you move using the outside of your foot. So a lot of soccer players do this to kind of curve the ball. So here, I'll go and demonstrate. So start lining up straight, then move through the ball using the outside of my foot and kicking through it to get kind of a curve. Dorsiflexion by stalling the ball in this foot. Demonstrate plantiflexion by stopping the ball's momentum.
Muscles are surrounded by epimysium, and then the muscles are divided into fascicles. Fascicles are surrounded by perimysium, and fascicles are divided into muscle fibers. Muscle fibers are surrounded by endomysium and are divided into myofibrils. Finally, myofibrils are composed of sacromeres, which contain the thin and thick filaments for muscle contraction. A sacromere is the most basic unit of contraction.